Hello everyone, this is Vicky Stitchnbutton, and today is the 19th of February. It is Wednesday night, and I am here to brag about my eagles and show you my stitching. And I have an FFO, and I have a new start, and I'm going to have some giveaways because the 11th, I had to write it down, marked my 7th year anniversary for Flosstube. So I am starting out 7 years of doing Flosstube. It doesn't feel like that long, guys. So let's talk Sunday. Not this past Sunday, but the one before, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, when they demolished the Kansas City Chiefs, and when I almost lost my voice, and my neighbor actually texted me at one point asking if we were okay because she heard us screaming. She knew we were watching the Super Bowl because her boyfriend was watching it too in their house. But that's how loud we were screaming. I have my Eagles cup here. I had this made on Shutterfly. I had to think about it. I got this when we won the championship a couple years ago, but I put down the little logo there from when we won the Super Bowl 7 years ago, as a matter of fact. So go figure. It's my 7-year anniversary and Flosstube anniversary, and we won the Super Bowl 7 years ago too. So very happy. Ordered a shirt and a hat right after the game. Got those in. The shirt's in the wash because I had to wear it right away. I also made a shirt and capris with my cricket, and I have this shirt that I got from the Eagle shop when I was in PA in November. So yay. Let's get into it. I have an FFO. As you know, if you watch my other videos about what I was doing for WIPGO, there are 5 spots on my WIPGO board that say two FFOs. And that means, I do some finishing. I get paid blah, blah, blah. I get paid to do some finishing for people, but I also am doing my own finishing. For WIPGO, it's only my personal finishing that counts. So I finished one for my daughter in the last video, and then I had to pull out another one for this month because one of the WIPGO numbers showed for 2 FFOs. I decided on my Guardians of Notre Dame clock, and this is it. This is how it turned out. There's a glare, of course. There we go. I am so happy. I am so happy how this turned out. Now, I didn't put my initials, but I did put the number 23 there. That's the year that I finished it. I figured that was good enough. You could barely see it. And this is a clock that I bought from Amazon. The first clock, I measured from side to side, and I knew what size I needed, so I ordered the clock according to the size I needed. But when they gave the measurements of the clock, they gave the entire width. I didn't realize that, so I had to send that clock back. Then I had to do some crafty shopping, and I went back on Amazon, and I was looking for something that had a pewter or antique silver type color. Plus I wanted ornamental hands. Plus it needed to be the right size, and I needed to be able to take it apart. Went online. I looked at the clocks I figured I'd probably need at least a 12 to 14 inch clock because most of these are about 2 inches thick, the frame part. And I started there, and then I figured out, once I found a clock I liked, I'd go look at the actual measurements of it because you could swipe the pictures. And I sort of eyeballed it, and I got lucky with this one. So I took this apart. There's a whole bunch of screws on the back, and this whole back comes off, and then it's just this frame along with the glass. And then I had to take the arms off to get this out, right? The cardboard stayed in there also. What I ended up doing was taking 4 pieces of cardstock and cutting them in the size that I needed on my Cricut, along with a hole in the center. I did a 5/8 inch hole just to make it a little bit bigger so I could fit the fabric and the mechanism back through the hole. I took all 4 pieces of cardboard and I glued them together. I think it was Aleene's tacky glue, and I braided them down. A brayer, for those who don't know, a brayer is like a rubbery roller that you can roll across to make it nice and flat and get any extra glue out. And I did that, and then I put it between 2 pieces of wax paper and put something heavy on it. I put a big book and a container on top of that book that had some weight to it, and I left it there for like 24 hours or so. I did it the one day, and then the next day I took it out. I wanted to make sure it dried, and I wanted to dry flat. Then I went and I had already ironed the piece, and I always put fusible interface on the back. It keeps my stitches where it needs to be. Plus, when you iron, you could sort of make sure that the weave is right and it's not sideways. It doesn't pull sideways or anything. I then cut around, I guess I left about 3 inches or so around the edge just to give myself enough space. And I figured pretty much the center, and I cut a little tiny plus mark in the center of my piece. Then I went and I took this high mark. High mark is a waxed heavy duty thread, and they use it for heavy duty clothing and upholstery, different things, anything you need a really strong thread for. So I have this in a couple of colors. So I decided to use this, and I made an extra long piece, and I basted around the edge about 2 inches, 1.5 inches, 2 inches away from the stitching, and I basted all the way around in a circle. And then I placed my cardboard in the center where it needed to be, and I cinched it. And then I sort of worked it back and forth to make sure it was nice and centered. Once I did that, I cinched it tighter, and then I sort of went back and forth. Some people just do a star. I went overkill, and maybe I did a double star. I don't know. I know I needed another big length of thread to go ahead and stitch it all. But I wanted to get it as flat as I possibly could and as rounded around the edges without any puckering before I put it in there. And then I took double-sided painter's tape, and since the cardboard of the clock face was still there, that's where I put the painter's tape. I sort of spoked it out, and then I put some on 4 sides real close to the edge. And then I pushed it down real tight on there. And then I had to put the clock pieces together. And I was putting it together. I was finishing up the basting and the clock pieces and putting everything together on Zoom with Kate from Fickle Stitches and our friend Shannon from Canada. And they laughed at me because there were cuss words and stuff and things. But it's done. And I'm really happy with it. And I'm glad I got to show it because now I can hang it up on the wall. Frank's like, I really wish I knew what time it was. After he saw, he wanted me to hang it up right away. And I go out, he's like, I wish I'd like to know the time. Never mind, he's got an Apple Watch on and his phone's right there, and he just busted my chops. So I said, after my video, I gotta show it on my video. So we're pretty happy with that. I love it. I love the way it's stitched up. And I didn't even mention, it's called Guardians of Notre Dame. It's from Ingleside Imaginarium. And it's still available on our Etsy. So go shop if you like it. It's an easy stitch. It's enjoyable. There's a lot of back stitch, but I didn't mind doing it that much because it really brought out the details that you needed in it. The fabric was, I forget the name of it, if it had a name, but I know it was from Victoria Motto Stitch Shop. I think that's what she calls herself. So that's my FFO, and I'm happy with that. I have 4 more spots that get 2 FFOs each, so I should have a total of 10 FFOs, personal FFOs this year, if not more, if I don't get my button gear and get more done, because it'd be nice. I have bins and bins of stuff to do. All right. In no particular order, because I just stacked my stitching, there is a new start in here somewhere, but it's not on top, so you'll see it when it eventually pops up. How about that? Currently, last night and today, I am stitching on 12 Days of Christmas. I'm putting something behind it. There we go. 12 Days of Christmas. So this is the part that this is the piece that I'm cut up into, not cut, but you know what I broke up into 12 sections so I could get it done by December. And this is my February. January was just finishing this block. February is doing this entire block. The rest, there are a bunch that I'm, here, I will show you. There are a bunch that I'm doing just a block for the month, but there's a couple blocks that I decided, because I was short by 2 blocks. So I looked at the amount of stitching and I decided I'd take 2 months for this one and 2 months for this one. I'll just break it up in half. I probably should have done that one instead of that one, but that's fine. That way this will be December regardless, and I should have it done. This is roughly what it looks like. It sort of printed off the edges on both sides. It doesn't matter though, because I know what it looks like. This is available through, and you could look at my last video for the link. It is Plum Street Samplers. It's a freebie and it's on her blog. I am stitching this on 40 count Oaken linen from Picture This Plus. And I'm using Victoria Modest sampler threads. They're in here. I'd gotten them through Threads of the Month and stuff like that. So I just picked some, a red, a gold, and a green that matched well with each other. And I know that there's black in there also. Matter of fact, I think I'm using black on this one for the crows in that square. So that's what it looks like now. I need to finish up that block. I started it last night. I don't know if I'll finish it tonight. It's a goal. It will be worked on tonight. If I don't finish it tonight, then I'll finish it tomorrow. Next up, I worked on pandas. This was one of my categories longest since worked on, and that was Pandas by Riolis. This was a kit. I'm using the kit Ada, which is a 10 count flaxen, and I'm using the kit floss, which is that woolen floss. I ended up doing, and you have to use 3 strands also. I ended up doing a little over 300 stitches, and this is how far I got. I forgot to pull my board over here, but that's how far I got. This is its nose and up into its snout, and I got all of that done. And I think I even did a little bit going down this way. Not bad. I don't hate it. The wool stuff is a pain in the butt to work with, but I did find with a threader that it helps. It helps. I also had gone ahead and pulled a whole bunch off with one of these winders from R&R Woodworks KY. They make 9-inch wide winders and 18-inch winders, and since I'm using 3 strands, I made them 9 inches, and I pre-pulled off a whole bunch and just put the corresponding numbers on there. It makes it easier when I'm stitching instead of having to unwind it from the bobbin. Like, I cut these bobbins some, but that's how they come, and it's a pain in the butt to unwind them. So it took some prep work. Over 300 stitches. Hopefully it'll come out again this year. I'd like to see some more progress on it. I also ended up stitching on Haunted Library, and that was for the category older than 2 years. This is what it's supposed to look like when it's finished. And this is from Lola Crow. I am stitching this on 32 count Shrekie's Tan from Needle Bling Designs. I'm using the code for DMC, plus I'm adding glow in the dark. I put in just over 300, I put in 400 stitches on it. And that's how far I got. I finished up some black over here, and then I worked on this archway a lot. That's where most of the stitches went, was on that archway. Also, in looking at this and knowing that I want to do glow in the dark in parts, I went on Amazon and I ended up buying this sewing thread. It's a polyester sewing thread and it's glow in the dark. There's 12 different colors. It comes as a 12-pack. I think it was like 20 bucks for the 12-pack. And I tested it on a corner of a different fabric. I need to test it on this fabric to double check. But I just used a random fabric that I had out. And it looks like 4 strands will do the job because it's pretty thin. It's just sewing thickness. So 4 strands of this should be able to do the job. And I don't want to pull them all out, but I have green, red, pink, blue, yellow. There's a gray, there's white, there's orange, there's a couple neon colors. So I have a bunch of colors to choose from, and that will stay with my haunted library. And that, because I have the Kreinik stuff, but what prompted me to look for more colors is, first of all, Kreinik doesn't make it anymore. Kreinik's out of business, and I don't know that Rainbow Gallery is going to pick it up since it wasn't even in production. And I can't find any other glow-in-the-darks. But I want to do stuff like the glow on the outside of the cat, the glow around the ghost librarian, the glow around death. There's different spots where I can, there's like a mist. I'd like to put some in there. I'd like to put some in the Thunderbolt that goes to Frankenstein's monster. So stuff like that. That's the plan. See, there's the Kreinik in there that I was using. But I didn't have a blue. And maybe I'll like stitching with the glow-in-the-dark polyester thread. It's nice and smooth, and it almost stitches up like silks. It runs real smooth. So that's definitely going to have to come out so I can get to another part and test it. Next up is put a bird on it. This is from the sale that I heard from EJ and her friends that have been doing this stuff. This is from Modern Folk Embroidery, and it's a PDF download, and it shows monochromatic on the chart. The chart itself. This shows it in color. I decided to count all the motifs. I'm not doing the lettering. I will put a year in, but I'm not doing the letters. There's 21 motifs. I chose 21 different Vicky Clayton silks because I have a slew of them. And since it's 21, I don't need to do 2 a month. But I'm going to average 2 a month, if that makes sense. There'll be a couple months where I split it up. But I'm not doing it the way they just cut lines because I got to finish my motif. So I have 6 of the motifs done. So I'm well on to keeping caught up. I ended up needing to do a couple extra stitches because I was doing a prompt. But this time I worked and did this motif. I think I had some stitches I had to do on this one. Maybe not. I don't remember. But I know I did this one and I did the swan. And those colors, I've been writing down the colors. The corner is Bebopped and the swan is in dark wisteria. And that's what that looks like. This is on 32 count vintage Luna from Lakeside Linens. Before the Super Bowl, I had started Philly Special from Spooky and Steve. This is still available on their Etsy site, and it is in the new Eagles colors, which I'm happy about. I prefer the new Eagles colors, some like the Kelly green. So I had started this before the Super Bowl, and once the Super Bowl started, well, it was getting ready to start, I set up a stitchy spot in the living room, which is a lot because I had to take a light in there and everything. And I got some stitching done on it. Not a lot, by the way. In the 4-hour game, I got a whole 300 and, oh, I thought it was 311. 321 stitches I got done during the Super Bowl, and I was able to finish the word Philly. This is my needle minder that I made out of a magnet that we bought at the, Gina bought it for me at the Eagles shop in Lancaster. So I finished the word Philly, and I haven't worked on it since the Super Bowl. It took, I think I ended up stitching on it during commercials and the halftime show while I was watching that. But it took a lot. And towards the end of the game, I was able to stitch a little bit. But I got that part done, and I'm happy. It's in my Eagles bag. I did offer a rendition of an Eagles bag on my Facebook group if you're interested. What's next? I had to stitch on another category. Or maybe not. Why did I stitch on this one? I think maybe, did I stitch on this for last month's categories? No. I don't know why I stitched on this one. Maybe I thought I was stitching on it for a prompt. Whatever. I ended up stitching on Yoda, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe I needed some quick stitches for something. Anyway, so I stitched on Yoda, and that is by Valente Cross Stitch on Etsy. I did 204 stitches. And those 204 stitches were over here, which I had started this part and realized I started up here instead of down here. So I had to pick it all out and restart. So I did a little bit more than 200 stitches because I redid some, but that's okay. This is what it looks like so far. I'm still trying to figure out why I ended up thinking I had to stitch on this one. It doesn't matter. Stitches are stitches, right? This is on 32 count Joblin. It's called Wedgwood Blue Dark from Slovak Farm. I don't know if she's still doing fabrics or not, but I had gotten that a while ago. This next one was definitely a prompt, and it was for Celestial. There's a Whippagori's prompt, Celestial. I worked on Luna Mystica. This time, instead of working on the moon, I worked on her. And I ended up getting... I know I got more than that in there. Alright guys, hang on. I didn't write down all my stitches on her, apparently. I don't know why I wrote it down the way I did. Hang on. I got in a total of 372 stitches. I wrote it down weird. And here she is. This is being stitched on 32 count Mermaid Sea linen from Under the Sea Fabrics. So I started, her hair is gray. And I did the few stitches here. No, I counted from here. And there were like 3 stitches in there that I did end up doing. But I counted from here and I started on her head. And everything you see here, I did. So I think what I'd like to do is next time I start stitching her, finish up her face and her hair, and then move down from there. Because I don't know that there's any other cross stitches anywhere here. I think the rest of all that is all beads. Here we go. So I've been saying I was going to start Tiger Lily, and I finally got her started. Tiger Lily is a loaner from a friend of mine, so I took a photocopy so I don't mess up the chart. Anyway, this is Mirabilia. It is out of print. She is being stitched on 28 count Lugana in the color The Child from Live and Not Die LA. And there's where I'm at. I started, the center was technically like over here. So I started on her butt and I worked my way down. I just chose a color, worked down, chose a color, worked down. And I know I had to fudge some because I was off a couple of times. I don't know why. But I ended up getting over 400 stitches in, so not bad. 414 stitches. In theory, she shouldn't take too long, right? Famous last words. Did I say it was Mirabilia? It's under the Nora Corbett name. Alright, for Whip Go. For Whip Go, one of the numbers called had Belinda's name on it. And no, this was Vicky's name on it. I accused her the other day too. No, this one was Vicky, reading and stitching. And she chose 3 for T. She got to pick a fancy lady. She chose 3 for T. That is under the Mirabilia name. 3 for T is being stitched on 32 count even weave from Fabric Flair. It's called Floral Thoughts. It's from My Fabric Party. I wasn't sure that I'd ever stitch on this fabric because it's a little off what I'm normally drawn to, but I thought they might look good on this because it looks, there's like a tree and all these flowers. I'm still a little off-put about the brighter flowers in here. I wish they weren't there, but I'm going to keep on going. We'll keep on going. Another thing that's sort of put me off is if you notice on the white stitches and the lighter stitches how some of the colors bleed through from the design, and I guess that's just going to happen. And I've actually thought about possibly just dumping this and starting it over again, but I'm just gonna keep on going. Maybe it'll look like they're sort of translucent then, right? So what did I work on? I worked on a lot of the pink, some of the white, a lot of pink in here. I filled in a lot of this stuff, a little bit over here, and a little bit of the green. I ended up doing all of 339 stitches. I had to do at least 300 for the prompt, for the Whip Go. So I did 339. And the last piece that I worked on, and then I'll get into the giveaways, by the way. I almost forgot. They're sitting there. They were out of sight, out of mind for a second. I worked on Kitchen Notions. This is, the designer is Linda Bird, and it was in a cross-stitch and needlework magazine, spring of 2016. I'm thinking Linda Bird is a designer for that magazine because I haven't seen her just put random charts out. I am stitching this on some 28 count Monaco, and I'm using Victoria Motto's sampler threads. The color is Desert Turquoise because the person I'm stitching this for likes green. So I picked this dusty green, And I ended up putting 342 stitches on, and that was for Has Words. And that's how far I got. And I just did these stitches the other night before I picked up 12 Days of Christmas. So I ended up stitching the E and the homemade goodens. I still have another S to do. But that's how far I got. Not bad. Not bad. 342 stitches. Moving right along. As for plans, I still have that block to finish for 12 Days of Christmas. I still have Winter Sampler to work on for the last of the Whippagories. That's seasonal. I still have to work on Animal Magnetism and Maurice. So as long as I get all those done, then I can stitch on what I want. Right? I should be able to get that stuff done. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So, having a giveaway. Since it's my Flosstube anniversary, I'm not going to ask for overseas to pay half the shipping this time. From here on out, I will. Anything that's more than just a card where I can put an international stamp on, I would ask for international winners to pay half the shipping. But I'm not going to do it for this one. I decided not to. Because we'll just celebrate that I'm here for 7 years. The rules for this giveaway. For this giveaway, it's a two-part thing. First of all, I'd like you to comment with how long you've been watching me. Have you been watching me from the beginning? Did you just find me somewhere in between? And then I'm going to give you a keyword for each, because there's a few. So, how long you've been watching me. And then you could just put keywords in there for whatever, and a keyword. That's what I'm going to be looking for when I pull the winners for my next video. The first giveaway is, I don't have a picture for it, but I have these cute charts. And now, so I'm going to hold it back here. They're teacups with flowers around them. And then there's a bonus one on the back that's a cottage. So if you're interested in that, I figure I'd just get it out to somebody that would like to stitch it. Cups is the keyword for that. Next one up is, this is a 3-part series from Summer House Stitchworks, and this one happens to be Nest. So it's this right here, and I'm trying to see. Yeah, and it does say Nest, so it looks like that and that. And I guess they put a little pocket type thing there, which is kind of a cute idea. So if you would like to win that, keyword is Nest. Next up is a snippet from Lizzie Kate. It's the Flora McSample. It's the Flora McSample line. And the name of it is Farm Sampler. Very cute. So keyword farm for this one. I also have all 3 of these charts. One's notions, one's threads, and one's buttons, and they go on these shaker boxes. Not sure exactly. I mean, you could put it on any round box anyway. 14 count. The approximate finish size across is 6.5 inches. So you need like a 7-inch round box. Or you can put it on whatever you want. It's up to you. But all 3 are there. They are from the June 1999 issue of the Cross Stitcher. So those are just incidentals that I was going to get rid of anyway. That I was going to give away. Oh, and the keyword for this one is shaker. I am also going to give away a bag. I chose this one. It's still winter time, and I think this is a really pretty bag, these cardinals. So with this bag, I will probably throw a couple of extra things in there. I haven't decided yet. It may be a threader, maybe a frogger, maybe a needle minder. I don't know yet. So we'll see what else I end up putting in this bag. And the keyword for this is bag. Be 18. Don't say giveaway. Be a subscriber. I mean, this is for the subscribers. And tell me how long you've been watching me. Oh, wait. There's one more. I forgot. I didn't even write it down on here. There's one more. I almost got out. Here's another one. This beehive by Elizabeth's Design. So, hive. I will do hive as the keyword for that one. That's another one that I had pulled out. I am looking to see if I got any more. No more pulled out. Be a subscriber, be over 18. Fill out, if you're going to enter, do yourself a favor and me, and either email me with your address, the information's below, or fill out the form below. I still don't have that information from Judy. Judy, you said you emailed me. I didn't get an email on my Stitchnbutton site, so I don't know what else to do. There's ways to contact me. If I don't see anything, I know I said it last time, but I'm not going to do it this time. If I don't see anything by the next time, I'm just going to give it to somebody else. I don't know what else to do. So, email is below. The form, the Stitchy Friends form is below. Also, I think it's called Flosstube Friends. That link is below. Fill out that information. If you've moved, go fill out the information again. That way, if you win, then I can get your stuff together and out to you right away. I'd like to get things done and dusted and out of my hair so I don't forget. What else? Oh, I got one thing in the mail. I had ordered from embroidery.com. They have a sale on some Cryonics. You can go check them out. They also have some rainbow galleries. They're not popular colors that you'd normally want for your things, but I've gotten some that I thought I might use. And I had one of their giveaways, and it was this piece of linen, which is sort of like the beachy one. I'm not happy with it. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I still have the other piece too. This is called Walk in the Woods. You can see me through this piece of fabric. It's all blurry. It doesn't even look good. I'm thinking, it's so gauzy. I'm going to have to do a test stitch. I'm wondering if I can't even just do a full coverage on this, or if it would drive me absolutely crazy even trying to do a full coverage on the fabric itself. We will see. I don't know. So for now, it'll be thought upon and thrown over there until I decide what I want to do with it. And I wouldn't recommend this fabric. I think they still offer it to buy, and I wouldn't recommend it, bottom line. All right, that's all for now. It's coming to the end of the month, so we should be finding out soon enough what the next month Whippagories are, and then in about a week, I think, we'll find out what the Whipco numbers are, so I can start. I don't know why I want to start planning. I think because I'm pretty much tired of these prompts that I have left to do, and I want to see what I'm going to do next month. I think that's probably part of my problem. I don't have any big plans. I am sewing. So this next batch of bags should be done. Hopefully, what's today? Wednesday. I don't know that they'll be done by this weekend. Maybe early next week I should have those done. And I already have plans for releasing the next picks for bags. So there's that. If you'd like to be in on the know for that stuff, then go ahead and join my Facebook group. That'd be great. And you'll see what I'm offering. Gunner is ready to go out, so we will take this time to say goodbye. You see my... Oh, that's one more thing. That's Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. I got that from my friend Mark. He sent the set for me, and he sent a set to Gina, because he knows we're big Eagles fans, and I rearranged this mess here a little bit. I don't know if it's going to stay like that forever, but it's rearranged a little bit so I can show off my doodads and whatnots. By the way, this cup fell from up there, and the edge hit my toe, and even though it's plastic and it looks metal, it's not, it's plastic, it still hurts. Just so you know, when it hits the knuckle of your toe, it still hurts. Pro tip. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're digging out from the snow up north. It's been crazy weather, crazy weather. And don't forget, don't let anyone steal your sunshine. See you in a couple weeks.